Get ready.
It feels like I start every review by saying this game is a spiritual sequel of something, but this time we can go one better because RetroMania Wrestling is an actual sequel to the 1991 arcade WWF game WrestleFest. Like its predecessor, RetroMania Wrestling is a pick-up-and-play arcade button masher. Despite the 20-year gap between the games, they share a similar 2D pixel art graphics style and chiptune soundtrack, with the main difference being it's no longer under the WWE license and features a roster of 16 well-known independent wrestlers such as Stevie Richards, Tommy Dreamer and Nick Aldis. The gameplay is instantly accessible with 3 button attacks, weak, medium and heavy, a health bar for each character and a momentum bar which fills following a successful flurry of attacks, allowing you to access the heavier attacks, culminating in the ability to perform each character's unique finishing move once the bar's full. The game offers 4 main modes: Story Mode, £10 of gold, Retro Rumble and Versus Mode. Story Mode sees you take the role of Johnny Retro on the road to recovery from injury. There are pixel art cutscenes to tell the story between matches and branching story paths based on the heel or face choices that you make during the cutscenes. £10 of gold is your more traditional tournament fighter mode, where you take on 5 consecutive matches in order to challenge for the belt, and on successfully capturing the title you defend the belt 5 more times to complete the game mode. A cool feature with this mode is whoever you've completed the game with last will be the champion the next time you play it, even in the other game modes. I thought it was a really cool touch. Retro Rumble, I'm sure many of you will be familiar with as a Royal Rumble. 2 men start, another man comes in every 10 seconds until a total of 16 combatants have entered and been eliminated, leaving the last man standing the victor. This is definitely one of the more fun modes in the game, if not a little chaotic at times. Versus Mode, as you would expect, is a single match against a friend locally or the CPU, where you can choose from a selection of match types, rules and venues. The gameplay in all modes is where RetroMania Wrestling really shines. It's just really satisfying to play. I definitely recommend the game. The only 2 things that I found disappointing were the length of the story mode and the lack of online play. The credits rolled on story mode after about an hour of playtime, at a point that I genuinely thought I was still in the intro part of the story. Maybe I had overly ambitious hopes, but I was expecting a 5 to 10 hour story mode, so it was quite jarring to finish so quickly. I did note the to be continued message at the end, so I'm hoping the developers patch in some more content with this, because it was actually my favourite mode in the game. I just wanted more of it. My other gripe was the lack of online play. More to my personal circumstances of living in another country away from many of my friends that I play games with, this would have been an amazing game to play together online, but as it stands, I've got to force my less than enthusiastic fiance to couch co-op with me. I understand the size of the task to implement online gameplay, but I really hope the developers are able to address this, as I feel this game's strongest draw is going to be playing with friends, which I'm unable to do at the moment, and I'm sure there are many others in a similar situation to me. In conclusion, I love RetroMania Wrestling. It's brilliant. It's blown my mind for years why WWE have always chased the wrestling sim market rather than just the casual nature of the arcade classic games that everybody loved. This is exactly what I want in a wrestling game. It's super fun, easy to learn action game with enough depth in the combat to keep it interesting. Developer Retrosoft have already laid out plans for support with the game, including additional wrestlers in the form of paid DLC, so my hope is to see a continuation of the story mode and the addition of online play, as really my only complaints with the game are that I just wanted more of the same. It's a great game. If this interests you at all, I'm sure you'll love it too.